Okay, I'm gonna share a bit of a Segway tour here. I'm in Stockholm in one of the reservations between in the southern part of Stockholm, between two areas. And I bought my Segway because I broke my back as a race driver a bunch of years back, and I've been in wheelchairs for like 7 years. Now I can walk a bit again though. I can walk with a stick for like 500 meters to a kilometer or so if I push it hard. So quite often if I'm out, if I were to move around a lot, I need to use the wheelchair. But I haven't used my wheelchair for, well, I don't know, a year almost maybe, because I rather take my Segway. I use it for everything. Plus, just the fact that you can't easily go out when you're in a wheelchair makes you stay in much more than you should. Because it's just like the threshold is a little bit bigger to go out and do stuff, or to, you know, like say yes when friends ask you to come do things and so, because it's just so much more work to do it. But since I got my Segway like 10 months ago or so, my life has changed completely. Now I can go wherever I want. I can go out in the forest like this. I can put a towel over my shoulder and go down to a lake and have a swim, and yeah, basically do what the hell I want. Because with my Segway I can always get within walking distance of where I need to or want to go. Say for instance, now I'm going over to another part of Stockholm to meet him at a mall. So I just take my Segway instead of my car and cut straight through the forest, and I will get out very close to where he is. The last part I will need to go on a waterfront in an area of Stockholm to get there, so it's gonna be nice. And a few things about the Segway, it's insanely easy to learn to ride. Obviously I have a lot of friends who wanted to try it, and I've never seen anyone take more than 60 seconds to learn to drive it. Even my mom, who is, well, pretty, I mean, it's a bit over 60 at least, so she stood on it on the lawn for like 45 seconds, and then she took the dog on a leash and took him out for 5 kilometers along the road. And that says quite a lot. It's very beautiful here. So basically, I would say that this thing that has completely changed my life. And one thing about battery life, though, they say, yeah, you know how it is with mobile phones and computers and stuff. They always say that the batteries will last 4 times longer than they will. At least if a human being uses it. For the Segway, they say that the battery life is 38 kilometers, and I've run it. I've even gone tad over 38 kilometers, and I'm not very heavy, but I'm pretty heavy, like 95 kilos. But if you go on tarmac, if it's not too cold, because that I've noticed in the winters when you use it when it's colder, that the battery runs out faster, but that's the same with everything. So you can't blame Segway for it. But anyway, and a radius of 35 kilometers, really good. For me, who has a paralyzed left leg, well, more or less paralyzed anyway, I can't stand longer than it would take to drive that anyway. I can't probably even stand that long, at least not with a brake. So I have a charger cable always with me. If I need to go really far and stay somewhere, and then I can just plug it in and charge it. It charges in a normal hour. And you get about 5 kilometers per 30 minutes you charge it, or so it charges pretty fast. Well, I just wanted to share a bit. So, this is something of Stockholm look. But to be honest, Stockholm is a very green city. Most areas, even where it's most densely populated, they have areas like this very close, or even in the middle of it. Now we're out at the water, actually the ocean. That's the Baltic Sea on that side. downslope. I've been here before though. Actually, downslopes is one of the things that is most tricky or most dangerous with a Segway. Balance-wise, it's not a problem. You can't lose your balance more or less. Even if you try, the Segway will save you. Like 20 times a second, it keeps the balance and it's seamless. It will keep the wheels under you as long as it can. If you hit something with a wheel, or if it's too bumpy, if you go downhill and let it weigh too much, it might not have the speed to get the wheels under you again. So going uphill is not a problem, but going downhill, you need to be a little bit careful before you know how to do it, or before you're more familiar with your Segway at least. Okay, now we're going over to an area called Sickla. As you can see, it's a small little wooden bridge. And just on the other side of that grey house lives about, I don't know, 80 to 100,000 people. And there is an area here within 2 miles, I'm pretty sure we have another 50,000. So they save pretty nice areas in the middle of town. But I'm gonna stop it here. I just wanted to make a short video to show you how it is to have a Segway, especially if you're a bit handicapped and you can stand up steadily and you can walk a little bit, but you're not a good walker because of age or because of handicaps or because of whatever. I would strongly recommend that you try a Segway because for me it changed my whole life. Just going through a forest or going down to a lake to take a swim, I haven't done that in like 7-8 years before because it was just too much work. Of course I have done it, but I mean I haven't done it just out of, like, let's go do that. Not once in 8 years. You can understand how happy I am now. In a little bit under a year, I've been driven this 2,000 kilometers. And 2 winters, during the winter I didn't drive at all. So in 10 months I drove it 2,000 kilometers. Which means that I drive between 25 kilometers a day with weather like this. Or with at least decent weather. But I'll leave you, and I hope the sun picked up pretty well at least. And I see you. Bye bye.